Chapter 18. Sam was on the front seat of the buckboard, getting to the best speed that he could get out of the team on the way back to the shack where his new baby had been born. The horses were tired after the drive in and the round trip out to Pinky Wright's ranch, but Sam kept them at a fast trot that carried the buckboard along swiftly. Pat Stevens was in the back with Ezra, who was still unconscious when they dragged him out of the unlocked jail and loaded him into the buckboard. They had decided to bring him along that way because it would get him to the doctor quicker than if he waited in town for Doc Trimble to come in, and they were both beginning to get a little worried about his long coma. They were nearing the express station, and Sam was whispering to the tired horses along while he heard Pat's voice speak soothingly from the back. "Take it easy, Ezra. You're all right now. Just rest your head back and don't try to sit up." "Is he coming around?" Sam turned to ask gladly. He heard a loud grunt from Ezra in response. Where the hell? "You're in the buckboard with Sam and me," Pat told him. "Just lie still for a little. How much do you remember?" "Plenty," Ezra growled. "You turned on me and locked me up, and then that masked man got me loose. I thought he was you at first, and then I seen it was Arlo." "Harlow got you out of jail last night?" Pat demanded. "Sure. I thought 'twas funny at first, and then I found out why. They took me out somewhere and tied me up with two of the VX riders guarding me. And then you know what Arlo did? By God, Pat, what all did he do? Well, he was fixing up to look like me with that rubber face that fit over his. I heard him talking, that he figured on killing people and making everyone think was me. That's why he got me loose from jail and then hid me out. We gotta stop him, Pat." "Just take it easy," Pat calmed him. "He's been took care of all right. Everyone knows it wasn't you by now. You got loose from them, huh?" "Yeah, long about noon I worked the ropes loose, and then they jumped me with knives and tried to pistol whip me. It seemed like Arlo had given orders that I wasn't to be killed until he got back and gave 'em the word." "He wanted to keep you alive until he was through with all of his murdering," said Pat. "So folks think that you'd done it all, and then he'd kill you and bring you in and get credit for it. It was a pretty smart idea, but you ruined it when you got away." "Well, that was a hell of a fight," Ezra admitted. "I got a horse, but he went lame on me near the Talbridge place, and I stopped and got another. And then the posse got wind where I was and then was chasing me. I knowed they'd string me up before I ever got a chance to talk, and I tried to make it to Sam's place. The danged horse stumbled into a prairie dog hole, and then I had to make her on foot. Seemed like I got there all right, but I don't remember much after that. I recollect crawling through a window somewhere." He ended kind of vaguely. "That's when I bunked you on the head and knocked you out," Pat explained to the confused man. "Kitty's having a baby and you scared the plumb wits out of her when you came in through the window. You've been out cold ever since, and Harlow tried one more killing with your face on, but he caught it." "How in the hell did he ever fix that face to look like Ezra?" Sam demanded from the front seat. "Gives me the creeps there in the front of the Gold Eagle when I seen him." "It's not so hard," Pat asserted. "One of them theatrical places in Denver, I reckon, and didn't really look so much like Ezra when he got a good look in the light. He did all of his dirty work in the mask at night, and nobody got more than one look at him. Like I said at first, Ezra's cussed ugliness makes it a lot easier, and then you got the red whiskers and one eye blacked off, and that's all that's really needed." "But why'd he go and kill Jake Martin?" Sam insisted. "I didn't do him no good. Not after Jake already willed his ranch to Ezra." What? Ezra muttered. That's right, Pat told him. You now own Jake's 6 sections now on top of the Spangler Ranch. Why, I reckon that Harlow didn't know about that will that Jake had made. He told Sam. Nobody knew about it till after Jake was dead. He knew Jake didn't have any kins, and he figured that Jake's ranch would end up on the open market after he died. That's why he killed Jake. Same reason he had for killing the others. Ethan Page had refused to borrow from him, and he had a mortgage that wasn't signed. So he just forged Ethan's signature as soon as he got dead. And Miss Kincaid wouldn't borrow neither, but George was horning to, and he knew that he'd get the Kincaid place with George's mother out of the way. The lights of the way station shone out cheerfully through the night just ahead. Sam whooped the team into a final burst of speed and leapt from the seat as they stopped in front of the door. He hit the ground a-running and flung the door open to burst inside. Pat and Ezra got out of the buckboard more slowly. Pat's shoulder was stiff and his head was beginning to ache again, and Ezra was stiff and lame all over from the knockings about he had taken that day. They leaned on each other and limped towards the door and were met by a beaming Sam with a tiny blanket-wrapped bundle in his arms. "Looky here," he exclaimed proudly. "Just look at the little tyke fellers. Purty as a picture, don't you reckon? Sammy Ezra Salone. And how do you like that, Ezra? You can be a godpappy." Pat saw Sally's anxious face behind Sam, and he pushed past the exuberant father to throw one arm about her shoulders and draw her close. Sally shuddered and pressed close to him without a word. She didn't ask any questions. They were together again, and she knew the horrible nightmare of fear and false accusations were ended. Pat still had one good arm to hold her with, and Sally didn't ask for any more than that. End of chapter 18. We've reached the end of Death Rides the Night by Peter Field. It's been an enjoyable novel. I look forward to getting into another one. I feel like I'll be doing Sheriff on the Spot next. It's a bit thicker of a novel. It'll be interesting to see what the author does with it. I've been quite enjoying the ability of this author. He seems to have a certain ability to paint a picture, like that one chapter, I think it was 13, where he introduced us to Nancy and Ethan Page. Paints a beautiful picture about a strong young couple and shows you their character, their desires, their hard-working ability, and so that you become quite attached. And it's kind of amazing how he was able to do that within one chapter, and then have that tragedy happen, and then because of that, he is able to pull such like just raw feelings in such short amount of time. Found that quite impressive. Kind of reminded me a bit of people who are familiar with Louis L'Amour stories. There's William Tell. He kind of goes through a whole bunch of ordeals and has trouble with women, and then finally finds one, Ange. And then that book starts where they murder his new bride while he's away, burn the wagon, and try and murder him. And similar feelings of just, you just want to punch the people in the mouth. But anyways, I'm going to be starting another story again soon. Look forward to it. Everyone who comments and thumbs up my video, thank you. Those they don't seem like much, but they definitely are a help. That's how the YouTube computer just recognizes that people are enjoying. Also, the long view times. It seems what that does, it shows the computer that people are interested in what they're hearing, and they stay for the entire video. So between staying and listening to the whole video, and thumbs ups and comments. Those are big markers that YouTube looks for. So thanks for all that support from you guys. Anyways, I'll quit yapping, and thanks to all of our members. Hopefully you've been enjoying getting a little sneak peek ahead of everyone. Anyways, thanks for joining the Stuff and Such family. We will catch you on the next one. And as always, bye for now.